What if the version of you creating your life right now is not the only version of you available? What if the identity you have been creating from is not actually the truth of who you are, but a pattern, a loop, a version of you shaped by old evidence, old emotions, inherited stories, and repeated expectations? Welcome to Infinite You Beautiful Souls. I'm Dr. Sheri, multidimensional mindset mentor, spiritual psychologist, and human potential catalyst. And here on Infinite You, we talk about mindset, identity, energy, science, soul, conscious creation, and the multidimensional nature of who you really are. 3D, 4D, 5D, body, mind, soul, conscious mind, subconscious mind, super conscious mind. And today I want to talk about something I am calling quantum identity, because I think this idea matters. Your quantum identity is not a fantasy future self. It is not some imaginary version of you who lives far away in the ethers, in the future, out in the universe somewhere. Once you finally fix everything, heal everything, become confident enough, have enough money, lose enough weight, get enough validation, or prove that you are worthy. Your quantum identity is the version of you who creates from the deeper truth your soul already knows, and this distinction matters. Your soul knows the deeper truth of who you are. Your soul knows what is aligned for you, what is true for you, what is possible for you, what you came here to do, create, experience, express, and become. Remember that your soul, the superconscious part of who you are, is eternal. It is connected. It is non-plussed. It is always in observation mode. It already knows. And your quantum self is the version of you who actually begins creating from that essence, that soulful truth. And so this is where the work becomes very practical, because I think a lot of people know deep down that they are meant for more. They know that they are here to create something different. They know that they want more abundance, more peace, more freedom, more love, more ease, more purpose, more joy, more vitality, more creativity, more room to breathe. But they keep creating from an old identity. And that identity says, and it's very energetic for sure, that identity says, this is just how money is for me. This is just how relationships are for me. This is just how my body feels. This is just what happens when I try. This is just who I am. But what if that is not who you are? What if that is not who you are? What if it is a loop? What if it is a repeated pattern that became familiar enough to feel like truth? And this is why identity matters so much, right? This identity, who we believe we are, the constructs around it, the repeated beliefs around it, the patterns, the programming. Remember that you cannot consistently create a life that you want if it is conflicting with the identity that you are creating from. So if you are trying to create abundance while still identifying as someone who has to struggle, prove, chase, or brace for lack, there is going to be tension. There's going to be really a vibrational mismatch, a frequency mismatch. And in the quantum field, it's really hard to bring things into our physical reality and our experience if we're creating from that mismatched place. So if you are trying to create visibility, if you're still identifying with someone who wants to contract and feel safe or hide, there definitely is going to be tension. And that tension does not mean that you need fixing. It just means that there is a loop, a pattern, a way of being that you have been that is just asking to be seen. And once you identify the loop, you can make the pivot. You begin by seeing the loop, you notice the thoughts, the stories, the emotional expectations, inherited beliefs, your old programs, your conditioning, and your body's responses to them that have been shaping what feels possible for you. And then you stop asking the old loop what you are allowed to create. So see the loop, see that program, and then recognize that you are not going to ask that loop for permission to decide what you are allowed to create as a sovereign soul. And then you connect with the version of you who creates from your inner essence, your soul's truth. And to me, that is your quantum identity. It is the identity aligned with your soul. It is the identity aligned with possibility. There are infinite possibilities for whatever it is you want to be, do, have, create, or experience. It's the identity that knows your current reality is not the full field, because what you see right now is just feedback. It's just information. It may show you the contrast. It may show you more of what you want and don't want. It may show you more of who you are versus who you know you are not. It may show you what has been repeated or practiced or expected in the body, in your emotions, in your beliefs. But remember, it is not your final authority. And the old version of you does not get to decide what is possible now. So today, just ask yourself, what identity have I been creating from? Not what do I want, not what am I trying to manifest, but who am I being in relationship to what I want? Who am I being in relationship to what I really, really expect as a possibility? Am I creating from truth, or am I creating from old evidence? Am I creating from a loop, an old pattern, an old paradigm? Or am I creating from my quantum self, or am I still asking an old version of me what I am allowed to receive? And that question alone can open up so much. And if you want to work with this more directly, this is so freaking cool. I created the Quantum Identity Playbook to help you see the loop, make the pivot, and create from who you really are. It walks you through one life area at a time so you can identify the pattern shaping what feels possible, reconnect with your quantum self, really deeply understand it too, and then create from the deeper truth that your soul already knows. So the link is below, and remember, your current reality is not the full field. The old loop you are in, the pattern, is definitely not the final authority. And your quantum self already knows what is possible. I will see you all next time. I will put the link below for the newsletter, for the playbook. And I also have a little bit of a bonus in there if you want to really, go even a little bit deeper. I created the Quantum Pivot Toolkit, and you will click through that with the playbook link. And I will see you all next time, beautiful souls. Namaste.